It is a big day for us at the Indie Football Podcast. We are joined by Mrigank from Chelsea Lucknow, and we are here to preview Chelsea versus Real Madrid. For me, it is a fun night for me because I am going to get to sleep as a Liverpool fan. No, I'm super jealous. Though here is a Real Madrid fan, and Mrigank here is a Chelsea fan, as you can see. So, although the tie lies in the favor of Real, if you look as the favorites, but in football, you can never know. And with Chelsea, again, like they have been the one of the most unpredictable teams in Europe this season. Mrigank, what do you feel, man? What's gonna happen tonight?
Yeah, big game, and again, once again, Real Madrid. So it's like constantly for the last few seasons, it's always been Real. And to be honest, they I don't think there could be a better, more unpredictable tie than this one because it's always
Yeah.
up and down with these both these teams. No, Chelsea being the most threatening English team from in the Champions League for past few years,
Right,
and Real Madrid, of course,
right.
everybody knows. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Let's see how it goes.
Right. I mean, though, honestly, like as a Real Madrid fan who sometimes come out of shell with his fandom, what do you think Real is gonna do? And like, do you think it's gonna be a comfortable victory?
Yeah, I feel first of all to start off, it's just amazing to be here with not doing the moderation part very much because Mrigank, most of the times Anukar sir here is the more football football fanatic guy, and I'm here doing asking most of the questions. So first of all, I just love this change in nature of my role here at an indie
Right.
football podcast video. But yeah, it's a big match, and we won 5-4 in aggregate against Chelsea last Champions League season. This was the same stage where we met over there, and initially, it felt like Chelsea did threaten us at the beginnings, and of course, Real being Real, pulled it off at the end. But that also does tell us there are things that Carlo Ancelotti's team needs to be wary of. And we anyway know this, the La Liga title, we are out of the race. And Champions League is the, as you know, I was reading one of the previews, there is the apple's eye for Real Madrid this season here. And I really hope it for to be a good match. But of course, mera money man, I just hope that also Real Madrid is able to do what they did last season at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah,
Mrigank,
well, I hope.
honestly, like as you know, man, Chelsea came very close to knocking Real out last time around. So Chelsea have been criticized often for their lack of attacking threat, especially when it comes to clinical finishing. So, do you really think that this time around Chelsea can turn it around and silence their critics, or you think the attack seems below par when it comes to a Real Madrid defense?
Okay, statistically speaking, so far it has been below par, and as a fan, I must. I mean, it would be really blind of me to say that we haven't we've been good attacking wise, because I know the potential in this team, and the whole world knows the potential in this team.
Right.
We came so close to winning it every single time we've been there, and in fact, this represents it right here. So we
Yeah.
do have certain levels that we need to achieve in this season, and but going on to that, like what tonight holds, I'll say that Frank Lampard really said it the right way, that it's a night where um, people who have been touted as non-favorites or anti-underdogs uh, always pull it off sometimes, and it is football. You never know when the guys get in form, because it's all about
Right.
the ball going inside line. And for the past few weeks, for the past few months, in fact, as a Chelsea fan, I really know how the finishing is more on the bad luck side, rather than sometimes the guys just can't finish. So I
Right.
hope that the luck is in our favor, because I remember the last time we met. Um, we totally dominated the game for 80 minutes or so. We totally dominated the game, and
Yeah.
from that point on, like we completely owned the game. So it was very heartbreaking to see that Real Madrid saved all their energy and used it in the last 10 minutes to do counters and go ahead and win it. But then these are the things that a professional team must take care of, and we can't get countered in the last minute. So I hope the guys are wary of all these points, and Frank Lampard brings in the spirit and energy, which is much needed in the team right now. So
Y-
yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
the
I'll
lineup
just
also looks
pick up
pretty
and
positive.
add. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I'll just pick up because twice did Mirigang mention of Frank Lampard, and it's interesting to hear what he said. He before this match he mentioned that for our players, it's not something completely new to them, but we have to play the occasion because levels go up at this stage of the tournament,
Mm.
and we have to believe we can perform it under that pressure. As opposed to Carlo Ancelotti, he just mentioned the team is in good shape, they are motivated, we are looking forward to a magical night in the Bernabeu. So every time we do a Real Madrid preview show, like Regang Bhai, we just mention how about Real Madrid's confidence of having done that, been there, and done that before. And Chelsea, on the other hand, of course, there's no denying. Even as a Real Madrid fan, many fans around the globe know what Chelsea can bring to the table on their best
Totally.
days. But the problem
Right.
for them is, can they bring it to the table on days when it matters, like today? Which I feel somewhere, Chelsea, the new coaching system, Frank Lampard coming in for his second term, even though he did very well in the previous Chelsea managerial role, when he was unbeaten throughout the stages. But I think there's just too much going in the Chelsea background for them to, channelize all their energies into the field and defeat a Real Madrid team at their home right now.
Well,
Oh well, about the
sometimes the
defeats, we'll see.
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
sometimes
of
the
course.
underdogs can, trump the big guns. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
talk about the
Absolutely.
IPL season, the Deccan Chargers won it in the second season when they finished
Ah,
the last or the
after
second
coming
last of the
last
first
in the
season.
first season.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, and the Royal Challengers Bangalore were in the finals with them, right? The second
yeah,
season.
yeah. It was
Yeah, yeah,
RCB.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
RCB.
so you can see like how sometimes teams can turn it around. For people at Chelsea Lucknow, Abhishek seems to be pretty excited. Viraj seems to be overexcited too, and Abhishek is like Chelsea is winning 3-2. Like it's good to see
Prediction.
the
Yeah.
Chelsea fans coming out and support. Even Rishabh agrees with us on that. But like
Yeah.
what I personally feel is that it's going to be a good matchup because although I think there's this phenomenon, it's called the new manager effect, and Lampard is coming. He brings values of Chelsea to the club. He brings values of the legend he was when he used to play in his heyday. And but what I see is that Chelsea at the moment lack cohesion. But again, like it's Europe, it's knockout time, and anything can happen. Mrigank, honestly, like going against Real, what do you think is the most fearsome factor the Spanish Giants present, and how do you think Chelsea can counter that?
Oh well, like right now the most fearsome factor is definitely finishing. Talking through my colors,
Yeah,
so finishing is a problem from our end and from their end. So they have excellent finishers. Vinicius Junior and Benzema need not be said. He scored 4 out of the 5 goals they scored last time, I guess, and I'd really hate for that to happen, something like that again. So that's a dangerous factor. And given that their midfield is so full of creation, Chouameni
right.
has great legs, and Cruz as well as Modric, they can create anything out of thin air. So we need to be on our toes throughout the match. And like I said before, that it can't happen again. That if we are if we are good at our game and we are dominating, we can't get loose at the later half of the game. And this is what
Right.
as a fan I feel most threatened about.
Our friend Harbhajan agrees with you. Even he says that the defense is something that Chelsea needs to look upon because I mean, being a Liverpool fan, I know how much Real can hurt you. Like even so, yeah,
Yeah.
that is something which has been palpable in Europe this season. For Real side, how important do you think their midfield is? going into this their match because their midfield has been the prime factor for them when it comes to dominating in Europe. How do you think? How much do you think the experience in midfield is going to play a difference for them?
Absolutely, it's going to be one of the pivotal views of this game tonight, because we are anyway starting at Indie Football Podcast. We are starting a new segment called Data Around Football with Karan, who was one of our latest podcast guests. So, through data, as usual, and I'm sure Mirigang bhai, you'll also agree, data in football is growing so much every season. Players like Kevin De Bruyne. They are using data to extend their contracts at huge amounts of money. So to the question that Anukar sir asks me, is I feel the midfield, the data point I said, because Luka Modric's work rate is almost similar to Jude Bellingham, who is half his age almost. Modric is 37, Bellingham is 19. So I feel Real Madrid has been able
Right.
to struck a cohesive communication at the midfield area for them to have a proper finishing chances with Vinicius Junior, Karim Benzema, who have been prolific for them in the past few seasons. One thing aspect that I do feel a bit tense about is if Real Madrid, they can be a side who we know what's the set template. Huh? Of course, Carlo Ancelotti's team has been known as someone who's able to adapt, go through pressure moments, and probably we might have another 80 minutes at the beginning where Chelsea presses, Chelsea does very well. So can Real Madrid continuously, is their success repeatable? Last season's title was 14th in their history, but I feel Chelsea has something in them to probably cause a bit of problems here and there. You never know, and that's why I'm primarily so excited about today.
I mean,
I mean, honestly, like as Viraj bhai says कि that Chelsea were underdogs in 2012 and 21. So मृगांक भाई लगता है इस बार underdogs turn around करेंगे या फिर Real will make them run like dogs?
okay, so first of all, a little bit rewind from the current times,
Yeah.
and not a lot, but remaining in the
Right.
season, Potter was our manager for um, significant part of the season. And one thing that I personally, as a Chelsea fan, noticed during his time is that the amount of chances that we create, it was stupendous. I mean, had we finished, I mean, it sounds a little, a kind of fantasy-like statement that had we did this, but
Hmm.
if Chelsea had finished those chances, we wouldn't be struggling right now. And this is a fearsome team. If you look at the talents that are present in the team, nobody wants to take on these players. It's just that
Right.
a lot of bad phase has been there, and a lot of transition has been there, going through three managerial changes, going through the whole management change, and all the bans that we were put through. The players are half or more than half of the players are still of the same time that UK government put sanctions on us. So it took a mental toll, and players are slowly coming out of it. So as a fan, I just hope that everyone gets back on their feet and shows the world once and for all that it's the same team that wears this this badge on their chest as a champion of Europe, as a champion of world, and despite coming out of so many injuries and facing so many yellow card issues, if we pick up today, like someone in the comment section mentioned. So all these
Abhishek bhai
issues, but
agrees.
as a blue, I never rule out my team. It
So
has always been this way, and we pull it out of a hat, the rabbit out of hat, and people are always stunned, and we always believe.
so शिवांग भाई says नीले हैं हम और क्या चाहिए? What do you think on that note, मृगांक भाई? क्या रहेगा स्कोर आज के मैच का?
I mean, yeah, I think 2-3 would be the score with Chelsea winning.
दो ही final predictions.
I feel the first half would be with a lot of chances, but neither teams capitalizing. And the second half, the floodgates might open. And the scorecard for me, the prediction is the same, but the results getting flipped.
We have got
All right.
Shambhavi
So
supporting Real here. So yeah,
Yeah, of course.
for me though, I
I've
would say
converted
that
her
even
to into a Real Madrid fan. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
agree with Doi and Shambhavi here. I do feel Mrigang with all due respect that Real will capitalize, though I think it will be a 1-0 though. That's what I am guessing. But yeah, it is what it is, and anything could happen. That's the beauty of the sport. That's the beauty. That's the reason we watch. Like people who have their teams in the Champions League watch the Champions League. So yeah, on that note,
Right.
thank you guys for joining. Thank you Doi for taking out the time. Thank you Mrigang. We really hope for more collaborations
Thank
with
you for
Chelsea
having me
Lucknow.
here.
Thank you
Of
everyone
course.
for joining, and we'll come back with more previews and reviews with Chelsea Lucknow. Thank you.